This is Jess, Wes and our daughter Issy. After selling our house and most of our possessions at the end of 2021, we've packed up our van Bevan to tour Australia. We are Life is VANderful. This week we start our adventures at Fitzroy Falls Waterfalls, before heading off to see the Wombats at Bendeela, the gorgeous town of Berry, a food festival at Shellharbour, and the lovely beaches of Kiama and Wattamolla.
Where are we today, Jess?
We're in Fitzroy Falls in New South Wales.
Is that it? You done for the day? Had enough of the waterfall? You've come the other side of the falls and you think you get even a better look out, maybe not so much about the waterfalls themselves, but just the cliffs and the surrounding areas. It's almost like a mini Blue Mountains here. I hope it shows up in the footage, but there is a rainbow going across the waterfall as well, which is just, yeah, awesome. It's the second, or I should say third lookout that I've just been to. It's about a 5-10 minute walk from the first two lookouts, and yeah, it gives you a really good perspective of the waterfalls. There are lots of other sort of walks and hikes around here, sort of ranging from 800 metres, which this one is, to about 2.5, 4 kilometre return hikes. So a little bit hard with Issy to do them at the moment, but this has been a really good stop. And next off we are heading to a place called Bendeela Recreation Reserve, which is where we're camping tonight. It's $6, you can book online, and apparently there's plenty of wombats. It's the place in Australia to go see wombats, so we're hoping, fingers crossed, to go see wombats in the wild as we camp. So that's the next stop.
We have stopped at Bendeela Recreation Reserve, which is on our way between Goulburn and Wollongong, and $6 a night, and it's famous for spotting wombats. So we're going on a little walk around camp right now, trying to spot some wombats. So far we've seen one big guy, and we've also seen some kangaroos or wallabies, we're not sure which of the two. Yeah, it's a lovely spot.
He's scratching his back. He's scratching on the tow bar. Is that the spot, mate? That spot?
So last night we heard wombats under the van. They kept scratching their back on the van. So Wes has just gone to check to make sure there's none under there so we don't run over them.
Wombat free, no wombats under the van. If you're stopping off in Berry like we are and you got kids, come to this place, it's awesome. This guy here is Alexander Berry, and it's after him who this town is named. And he was a surgeon, a merchant, explorer and adventurer apparently, and he was here in 1822. We're back at the beach after a long time, and we're here in Shellharbour, here for a couple of nights. Then we're going down to Kiama. So we're just going to go for a walk and lap up this sunny, if not a little bit windy weather. Issy's latest thing at the moment is picking up sticks everywhere we go, so we get about 2 meters down the road before we find a stick, and walking takes a long time. So today we're making the trip up to Wattamolla Beach, which is between Wollongong and Sydney, and we've come up on the coast road and we've stopped off at Sea Cliff Bridge just to check out this pretty amazing feat of engineering, this road that winds its way from the cliffs to hanging essentially over the ocean. So another beautiful day, and it's a nice easy path here to go for a walk, and nice and safe. From where we've pulled over. So yeah, we'll go for a walk, stretch our legs before we get going again. Now we're here at Wattamolla Falls and Waterfall Beach. So entry to this beach and park is $4 or free if, like us, you have the annual digital pass from New South Wales Parks and Wildlife Services.
So you come down the stairs over here, steep track down the stairs, scramble down these rocks, and then there's a little river crossing. It's a pretty strong current. Hold on, Dad. I'm glad I took his phone and keys and everything out of his pockets before he attempted this. It's really strong. Yay, did it! They made it! Hooray! Yay! So yeah, there's a beach over there, and then just over here there's like a little lagoon area that you can swim in as well, and a waterfall.
This is a perfect shady spot for Issy to be playing at the beach, right next to the water.
It's a mermaid.
Merman. Where are we?
Kiama.
Kiama.
Kiama. Kiama.
Kiama.
What's outside? What are we going to go look at?
Lighthouse.
The lighthouse.
So we're in Kiama and we're here for 3 days, and first stop is checking out the lighthouse and the blowhole, which is the big feature here in Kiama.
We are at Kiama Blowholes and the lighthouse this morning. Tides haven't really given us much of a show at the blowholes, so we'll probably come back and check it out again whilst we're here. We are in Kiama for 3 days, so we've just been to the visitor centre, picked up a bunch of guidebooks. Looks like there's a few rock pools, some lovely walks around here, obviously lovely beaches and gorgeous scenery. And right now we're going to go check out an event that's just on this weekend. It's a food and wine festival at Shellharbour.
Yeah, we're at Shellharbour and we've come to the Food and Wine Festival. We were doing the shopping at Woolworths the other day and we saw, what did we see? We saw some tents getting set up, so I thought it was a good idea to come back and check it out. Beautiful sunny day, so we're just gonna go there. There's gonna be some music. And you like to dance while Mum and Dad have some wine and food. Yay!
Some music and food.
There's a bunch of different wine stalls at this Food and Wine Expo, and we decided to be a bit brave and try some student wines at the TAFE stall. So it was $5 per person for a tasting, but we ended up walking away with a bottle of wine valued at $15 for $5. We were a bit hesitant to try it first, being student wines, but it was absolutely amazing. You would not taste the difference between a $20 or $30 bottle of wine at the bottle shop to this student wine. So we tried 5 different wines. We tried Verdelho, Shiraz, Merlot, a Champagne, and a Chardonnay as well. Favourites definitely being the Verdelho and this Merlot, which we decided to bring back with us. So if you're after a good one, it's called Intuition.
The kids area, the place to come if you have a headache. It's Sunday morning and we're off to the markets in Kiama, however you want to pronounce it. Back to the Sunday morning coffee and pastries. And this is just one of 2 ocean pools here in Kiama, and it's just a 5-minute walk from the main city centre. So we're really enjoying Kiama. It seems to have got a bit of everything. Seaside town, historical buildings, there's markets, there's rock pools. It's the blowhole we went to yesterday, which is just around the corner from where we are now. Nice harbour, fish and chips, all lots of cool things to do. So yeah, it's really been one of our favourite seaside towns we've been to on this whole trip, I'd say. So yeah, really enjoying it. And today's Halloween. And then tonight we're going to go take Issy to a Halloween disco. So she loves dancing, and yeah, here in town there's a Halloween themed disco. So Jess, as ever the caring and thoughtful mum, she's brought Issy a little costume. So going to go surprise her with that this evening. First we're going to go check in to our accommodation, and it's right near the Little Blowhole, so we might go look at that as well. I think the little blowhole's almost even more impressive than the blowhole in the main part of Kiama. It's obviously dependent on the weather conditions, but yeah, you get really close to it here and see it shoot up, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's part of the coastal walk here, so it's a long walk you can do right along all the cliff edge and go straight into town, or keep walking in the southerly direction as well. So yeah, really nice place to spend the afternoon. How ridiculous do I look right now? Say cheese to camera. Thank you. Say cheese to camera. What are you, a witch? So in today's episode of Fixing Bevan, pretty serious one. Not so much Bevan itself, but the bike rack. The long bit of thread that clamps the bike rack onto the tow hitch has broken. Has gone. So the actual locking mechanism, which is a long bit of thread, the triangulated sort of nut at the back, is gone, is missing. So noticed that last night when we pulled up here to camp, and yeah, this is the other end. It is sheared off, so it's long bit of thread, or it was long bit of thread, to the handle, the triangulated handle that hold it on. So there's no around here that sort of sells these in terms of spare parts. The whole rack is pretty expensive, so don't have to replace the whole rack just for one piece. So going to try and find a place that gets some, or sells some all thread, some 8mm all thread, cut it to length, get a couple of jam nuts, and try and lock it up, because it doesn't actually sort of bolt to the tow hitch. It tensions itself, and this little spacer pushes up the inside of the tow hitch to sort of clamp it to the car, clamp it to the van, and keep it tight. So yeah, that's going to be today's fun. Going to go find somewhere in country New South Wales that has a bit of all thread. So wish us luck. So the bike rack is back on Bevan. So managed to fix that yesterday, I hope. So short-term fix. It just made sense to do it while we were here. We were 2 days at this campsite, so we could leave the bikes here, tie them up, and go and find some nuts and bolts. Bit of threaded rod to fix it, so fingers crossed that that holds. We're going to keep checking it, and you can order a spare part. So I might get that shipped to my parents' place. Then we can fix it for good. So last day here in Kiama, we're going to go check out Cathedral Rocks and Bombo. It's called Bombo Heads here in Kiama. Go to the old part of the town, grab a coffee, and then we're going to head south to Jervis Bay. So that's next on the stop as we make our way south down the New South Wales coast. And the reason we're doing that is we are trying to go to, not trying, we are going to Tasmania in about 2.5 weeks. So that's our deadline to get down to Melbourne or Geelong now. So the Spirit of Tasmania leaves from Geelong, so that's our next stop, is to get down there. In about 2.5 weeks we're setting sail, so that's our time frame to work our way down the New South Wales coast, down through the bottom of Victoria, and all the way to Geelong. And this is Boneyard Beach, so it's on the north side of Kiama, or Kiama Downs, and it's halfway between Cathedral Rocks, which we'll also go have a look at, and Bombo Headland. So yeah, it's a really beautiful beach, not too much sand, a lot of shells, a lot of pebbles, but yeah, really blue turquoise waters, and yeah, just a great place to be when it's a sunny day. One of the many beaches here to check out. So I am on the rocks on the edge of the water here, edge of the ocean, and I'm here because the drone crashed, or I crashed the drone, whichever way you want to look at it. I guess I'm the pilot, so I guess it's my responsibility. There were no casualties except for my ego, probably bank account, or our bank account, and of course the drone, which is most likely crashed into the sea, about 10 meters from where I'm standing. So I've come and had a look for it. It's probably the worst place ever you could lose a drone. Rocky precipice right on the water's edge. It was a little bit windy, and then it got really windy while I was trying to get the drone back, so there wasn't much I could do about it. The only fortunate thing is there's no one around, so nowhere near anybody to fall on top of them. But yeah, really annoying because yeah, I enjoy flying it, and it's just such a great thing to show everybody. You know, just the views from above, you get such a better perspective of everything from high above. So I'd love to get a new Mavic Mini 3. That'd be my choice, but yeah, not cheap when you're on VANLIFE. So I'm not sure the next steps are in terms of drones, but for now I think I'm going to head back into town and get a coffee. Probably need more than a coffee, to be honest. And then we'll head further down to Jervis Bay. But this is a brilliant area. It's a lovely walk out to the headland here, so if you ever come, make sure you do the Boneyard Beach, which is where we started, and all these rocks here at Bombo Quarry and Cathedral Rocks. It's yeah, pretty spectacular rock formations here, butterflies, and if you come here and you find my drone, please let me know. That's where it should be. It should be there. It's not there. So you might have touched on it briefly before, but Kiama's right on the beach, and it also has an historic sort of section to it. So there's a lot of old cottages and colonial buildings dotted around the area, and just off the main strip, there's actually like a series of old cottages and old buildings. They've kept in the same sort of style. So we're just walking up there now and maybe get this one an ice cream if she behaves. I'm talking about Jess.
Thanks so much for watching. If you're liking our videos, please subscribe.